What is up, everyone? Hope you guys are all having yourself a great Wednesday night. Show some love down in the comment section. I have a very, very special training for each and every single one of you tonight. Tonight is more of a podcast vibe that I'm really trying to do tonight in tonight's training. I have three of my clients, Josh, Rob, and Jill. And essentially, what we're going to be breaking down tonight is really our experiences building out our own personal Facebook group. Okay, so for example, Josh building out his Facebook group for his copywriting business, Rob as well, and also Jill too. All right, so if you guys are excited about this, show some love down in the comment section, but hashtag excited, put hashtag live down in the comment section. If you watch this on the replay, but hashtag replay. And like I said before, like I really want this. Like I know I kind of spoke about this before with you guys. I really want tonight to be just like real and authentic. Like really just bringing out like your experiences, the goods, the bads, the uglies, just everything about building the group thus far within your journey. So let's kind of start off with some introductions of each and every single one of you. This way everybody knows who you guys are. All right. So Jill, let's start off with you, miss. Kind of share with everybody who you are, do a quick introduction, let everybody know.
Well, I'm Jill Elliott, and my group is Revenue Driven Copywriting for Business Owners. I started copywriting maybe January, February. So fairly new, growing my group and really loving it.
I love it. I love it, miss. I love it. And with the group as well, kind of break it down with everybody. Um, I guess like what specifically has been helpful for you so far as you're growing the group?
Well, I'm following the program, the system, uh, mainly doing organic marketing because I'm not running any paid ads. I'm just doing
Yeah,
cold outreach and just adding people from my profile if they're business owners, inviting business owners. I've joined a whole bunch of groups and um, just like reaching out to people that I feel are appropriate for my group. It's not like my profile where I just added a lot of people to get a large audience. This is more specifically for business owners.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, we're definitely gonna tap a little bit more on that during the podcast, but I'm loving it, miss. I'm loving it. And Rob, for you, brother, kind of share with everybody who you are. And yeah, introduce yourself, brother.
Okay, so my name is Robert Russo. I'm from Michigan. I'm currently a freelance copywriter part-time, so I do have a typical 9 to 5 job that kind of holds most of my time, of course. And I've been doing copywriting on the side for about 3 some odd years or so. And since joining your program, I've been able to really craft my skill set even more and being able to redefine the way that I kind of go about prospecting and even getting better with sales overall as well. And then fast forward to now, I do have the Facebook group Profitable Copywriting for Business Owners that I'm currently am engaging with prospects in and providing a lot of free value to and just helping people in their business with copywriting as a whole right now.
I love it. I love it. I love it, bro. And Josh, for you, brother, kind of explain who you are, man, and introduce yourself as well, bro.
All right. So my name is Josh Straight, and I am a holistic health and wellness copywriter. I have been working as a copywriter professionally for a little over a year now, and I just started growing my group, my Facebook group last month. I think I'm like just under a month of growing my group right now. My group's called the Lucrative Copywriting for Holistic Business Owners, and it's just very exclusive towards holistic business owners.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I think I think the first thing I kind of want to tap into with the face group concept. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, right? And everybody else watching this as well, like nothing is scripted. So I'm just going with the flow with how the conversation goes. But my first thing that I really want everybody to kind of tap into is I guess the concept of building out the group. And I want to hear everybody's experience thus far with building out the group, and I guess like why, like the ups and downs about it, but why you feel like it's been important so far throughout your journey, right? Like for example, Jill, if you can kind of express that, because I kind of want to hear your thoughts with that.
It's it's very different from when I started the profile in that I just, like I said, the goal was to get a large audience. In the group, I want to make sure it's made up of business owners who will be potential clients. So I can offer value on my group for those business owners, and I can DM with them individually, and just they can see what I'm doing. And every day I keep growing it. I keep sending DMs and cold outreach and making connections.
Love that. Love that. I definitely want to tap into more about the audience because I think, in my personal opinion, I think the biggest thing about any kind of business, whether it's a copywriting business, coaching business for myself, it's having an audience of people seeing you, right? Like right now we're at almost 2,200 members inside the group. And to me, I started this group back in 2 years ago, right? We're at 2,200 people. And the thing is, it's as you're looking to really scale, as you're looking to really grow, it's having people noticing who you are, right? Like, for example, the reason why Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, all these people are able to sell their products, their music, their services, their makeup line, all these crazy things, is because they have people watching them, noticing who they are. They have an audience, people seeing exactly what they can do, right? And the reason why they're able to get sales out of it is because whenever they post it, they market it, they have people that have been following them for a long time that you're like, yes, I'm willing to invest into that, product, the music, whatever the case may be, whatever they're selling.
Right.
It's the same exact thing as you're ultimately building out your own Facebook group. We're building a community. We're getting leads. We're getting traffic. We're getting eyeballs. And we're now building an audience of people aware of us. And like
Yeah.
I know for you too, Jill, you've used the Facebook profile, like more so like the hybrid referrals just to get things off the ground.
Yeah.
And I want to hear like what's been the shift between the profile when you're first starting out, because that was what we did when we first starting out, but what's been the shift of using the group now? I really want you to talk about that.
It is totally different because everyone on my profile is with all different types of people. But I felt in the beginning that everyone was valuable because if they're not a business owner, they know someone who's business owner. I want eyes on my business so that they know who I am and what service I can provide, and they can tell whoever. And I
Yeah.
just believe that a big audience can do that. Now, with the group, I find that I have to constantly try to get engagement. And
Mhm.
I have some people on there who I've talked to a few times, and they don't need a copywriter, or they think they don't need a copywriter.
Mhm.
So I keep showing and showing and showing what I can do
Yeah,
and post and a few little funny things, some memes
for
or
sure.
whatever, but mostly content. And I'm trying to get people to engage and they can see my personality. And hopefully someday they'll say, yeah, I think I do need her. Like she's pretty good.
Yes. And I think that to me is the key of the group.
Yes.
As you're showing up with the content, you're constantly nurturing the audience. You're giving value to the group. Like it's this concept. I'm not too sure if you guys have ever read Gary Vee's book, Jab, Jab, Right Hook, but it's this concept of giving. So Gary Vee talks about this in his book, Jab, Jab, Right Hook. Not Jab, Jab, Right Hook. I forgot what the book is called. But it's the concept called Jab, Jab, Right Hook. And essentially what Gary Vee is talking about is for us to grow inside of a business, it's this concept of giving and giving and giving and giving and giving and giving. And then the right hook is now when we're asking for business,
Yes.
right? Like what the Facebook group does is as you're constantly just giving in the group, posting valuable content, whether that's, you critiquing a business owner's copy, you just giving some tips on your knowledge, whatever the case may be, naturally people build trust with you. And that trust can definitely lead to a business owner being like, wow, I'm loving the content, I'm loving the value, and I want to know how to start working with this person. And I think that to me is the key of what the group does. Right. I love
Definitely.
it. I love it. And Rob, for you too, bro, kind of break it down, like your concept too of like building an audience. Because I know you've been building the group since January, so roughly about
Hmm.
3 months now. I guess express to everybody who's watching like your experience with building your audience and giving value, because the content that you've been posting, bro, is insane. Like you're giving critique, like you're giving so much value to the group. I definitely want you to tap into that too, bro.
Yeah, I think having a Facebook group makes things a little bit more personal to your audience instead of just posting things on your profile for your entire friends list to see. When you have a Facebook group dedicated to copywriting for business owners or for other people in the market, it makes it feel more personal and more close knit to where they're actively able to feel like they're engaging directly with you. And through the content that I post, I like to give a lot of free value up front where I'm essentially not holding anything back that I know. And I don't, and I'm not against giving all that free value away either, because I do know as well that people don't pay for the value aspect, but they pay for the implementation of that tips, tricks, advice, formulas, templates, so on and so forth. So, I mean, I'm willing to give everything away for free too, like we kind of talk about as well. And I think I get a lot of, a lot of return to myself, which is knowing that I'm able to help other people grow their business or just having a better understanding of copywriting as a whole as well. So I think that's really satisfying for me to be able to help other people and be able to see them get results too at the end of the day is the
I
most
love
important thing
that.
for me.
I
Mhm.
love that. I love that. It's even like you said as well, it's like I feel like sometimes we can get into the state of like, oh my gosh, so I give all my information away, right? Whether it's, for example, for individuals that are using the profile or for us now using the group, oh my gosh, if I give all my information inside my group, people are not going to pay for my services. And to me, it's like, although we're giving all the free information, we have to realize that people are not paying for that, right? What are people paying for? People are paying for a copywriter to ultimately utilize and implement their skills or knowledge or expertise inside their business. And if you can
Hmm.
showcase that inside your content, that's going to help people to understand what value you can provide inside their business as well.
Hmm. Yeah, and I would like almost encourage people to take my content or my free value and actually try to use it. Feel free to apply it and actually use it, but I feel like a lot of people will slowly understand they actually need someone who does have the expertise and the actual skill set sharpened to actually make sure it's done to the best of its own ability as well. So I definitely do encourage people to at least apply it and just to get a feel for, the challenges behind it or the fact that it is an actual, viable skill set with different rankings of, skills to be gauged for copywriting, right?
I love that. I love that, brother. I love that. And Josh, for you too, bro, what do you feel like as well, like kind of breaking down like your experience with building out the group? Because I know as well, like you're providing a ton of content, a ton of value. And I want to hear your 2 cents with what's been going on with that.
So for me, I feel like the major difference between having my group and just posting random stuff on Facebook for everyone to see is it's definitely more close knit. Like you know that your content is being shown to the right people as opposed to just kind of like screaming into a void and hoping that it finds the
Yeah,
person you're looking for, you know? So I really like that. I like that it's more personal with the business owners that you allow into your group. And yeah, and I like being able to give the free content, the free value, high value content, showcase what you know, and you get feedback from business owners who had no idea that they're supposed to be doing these certain things.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
copywriting is a skill set, and there's more to it than just blurting out information. It's like all in the structure of the delivery. There's some psychology behind it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's great.
I love that. Talk a little bit more about that because that was a great point you just brought up about the feedback that the business owners give you when you're creating your content.
So most recently,
Yeah.
I had a call with somebody, a life coach,
And
and
this was from the Facebook group. Is that
this is from
correct?
my Facebook group, correct?
It's crazy.
And she
Yep.
was talking about how she puts out all this content, but she doesn't always get the feedback she's looking for. And I asked her if she's doing market research, and she was like, I don't know what that is. So I had to break it down step by step how we do our market research before we even start writing
Yeah.
any form of copy.
100%, 100%. And I think one thing too, it's even if like, because even this happened on the sales call where you broke this down as well, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I think one thing too that I even want to tap into is the sales piece. Because now your book, like I know for all of us, we're at the stage now we're booking calls and for the sales piece too. I think for a lot of people who go into sales, when they're jumping on sales calls, they're not giving valuable information to help the prospect. Try to get them as a client. They're in closing mode. They're just trying to close the clients. But I think even in the sales calls, as you're booking calls with your prospects, is giving some form of value, just like what Josh did, of
Right.
breaking down the market research. And I'm not too sure if this person didn't have the money, I believe, right? She didn't have the money to
Yeah, that's
invest.
correct. She at the time didn't have the budget, but
But that's perfectly fine though. But I person will remember that of being like, oh wow, maybe when she does have the money, she'll remember that call that you had. She'll look at your content and she's getting nurtured by you from one, the value that you're giving inside your group, and on top of that
absolutely.
as well, the sales call that you had of you just giving some value to her. And she'll be like, oh man, I need a copywriter right now. Oh crap, I had a call with Josh before who gave me value on a call. And on top of that, I'm seeing the content, I'm seeing the testimonials. I got to connect with this person. And that to me
100%.
is and that to me is really how the Facebook group concept goes, where even if somebody isn't able to invest right now, we're playing the long game. What's going to happen the next 2 to 3 months when I reach back out to them? I see exactly where they're at. They're like, hey, I've been looking at your stuff. I know before I didn't have the money, but now I'm thinking about potentially investing to a copywriter. I'm seeing all the value. Remember the call that we had last time? I'm ready. Like I've had that happen to me inside the group, right? With one of the with a few people inside our community, right? Where they got value, and although they weren't ready right now, a couple months later, they're like, "Hey, I'm ready to work with you." And that to me is the power of what the Facebook group does. Although somebody's not ready to invest right now in the moment, they're still getting nurtured by you. They're still getting value from you from your content, whether that's a testimony that they see, whether it's a live training that you do, right? And I know for a
Yeah,
lot of us,
and
what
it
you
kind of
say?
helps build that waiting list too. So when you have an
Yeah.
opening, you don't have to grasp at straws to look for the next client.
Tap a little bit more about the waiting list because I think to me that is a key asset
Well,
to this
I'm
Facebook
still
group
working on
process.
building my waiting list currently, but that's the goal is to have that waiting list.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's funny because I know for a lot of people once they start getting clients, right? And they kind of pop the champagne and then after things could potentially happen with a client where they potentially might have to go back to ground zero, the next stage is like, okay, oh my gosh, what's the next thing that I have to do? And now they're at a stage where now hunting for clients. They're like, oh my gosh, I gotta now, reach out to XYZ. I got to start cold emailing. I got to start cold DMing. But the beauty of the group, and once you guys, ultimately, because we're all trying to get there, is once we're now building the group, we'll always have a list of people that we could always contact. They're always getting nurtured by the content. And that's why showing up in the content is so important. Consistently showing up in the content, consistently giving value inside your content, whether that's a live training, whether that's a resource, a two-step post as well. All right, like I know for all of us, like we've been doing a lot of live trainings. I know Josh did a live training, Rob and Jill too. I definitely want to tap into your thought processes with the live trainings. Jill, let's start off with you, miss. Kind of break it down because I know you did one today. How was that? That was
Well,
good.
it was okay. Yeah, I got the information out that I wanted to give, which I'm really glad. But I was so distracted today, and I apologize. My dog
It's all good.
got off her chain and went on running, so I'm like doing this live training at the same time.
No
She,
worries. Yeah.
yeah. So, but it worked out well. I got some content or some engagement and likes, and yeah. So I
Yeah.
actually I was messaging someone about it. So yeah.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
So
I'm really
you're
enjoying
Mhm.
doing the lives and any kind of video training. I get really anxious, so I'm trying to crush that. And every week I'm just going to show up, and however it goes, it goes. And I'm just going to give away free content, and fingers crossed.
It's this concept just keep giving and giving and giving,
Yeah,
right? And what information did you talk about today? Because I want to hear more about that live training that you did.
I
Like
did.
what you know,
Well, this was like the last week was the first time I did the, I call it the Wednesday webinar. So last week was the
nice.
first one. So today was the second one, but it was the first time I gave content and some value. So today I thought it was only natural to do headlines first. Yeah.
Nice. So
So I
you broke
broke
it down
it
in mhm.
how to write a headline and key components of the headline and the seven points that you could touch on. I went over that, and yeah, so it went pretty well.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, I think and you had some people, I think I saw some people commenting down below too, right? I
Yes,
love that. I
I
love that.
did
Mhm.
offer a free document for anyone
Yeah,
who commented below, and so I have to do that now tonight. Is send over the
amazing.
document, the 30 types of headlines that attract customers. So, anyways, I thought that was a really good document to send out to people and really fitting. So I don't know what I'll do next time when I do leads. I might have
Yeah.
to dream up something.
Yeah, I mean, even too, like you can use what's the information inside the program. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But I think the fact that you're getting people looking at your not only your live training, but even commenting about the resource. This is a
Yes.
great way to not only give value in the DMs, but even ask them to book onto a call with you.
Yes. True.
And that's the power of the group right there, right? You're giving value to the group. You're messaging people who are looking at the content, and now it's like, hey, let's jump onto a free call so I can help you out some more.
Right.
I love it. And I know for you too, Rob. I know you've been doing a lot of live trainings as well, brother. Break it down like your thought process and your 2 cents with building out the live trainings as well, bro.
Okay, so yeah, for example, last week I went through a story template training. It was actually for a sample that I wrote for a prospect that I've been engaging with on and off for a little while now. So I wrote that email sample and I hope that he'll be able to test it with his email list. But I also wanted to take that same, email sample that I wrote in the form of a story template to also do a live training on it, where I went from top to bottom, kind of just breaking down what the template was in terms of how I wanted to set the structure and the entire flow of the story itself. So I was able to give like a live example of one of my email samples right from my portfolio. But then twofold on top of that, I wanted to make sure that I was able to correlate and communicate to everyone who was watching basically the entire formula that went behind that actual piece of content. So they could
Mm,
also take that same live training that I did and also replicate it for their own products or services just by simply following the template that I broke down, step by step and in greater detail.
I love that. I love that. And how has that feedback been? Because I really want to hear the feedback have you been getting people talking about that in the inbox, like they're seeing your stuff, they're getting value from it?
Yeah, for example, the prospect that I wrote the email for, he's actually a member of my Facebook group, and he said that he did
Solid.
love the email that I wrote. And when I'm also on sales calls with prospects as well, I will share with them all sorts of free value and free content or free swipe files from my portfolio, that email being one of them. And then
Mhm.
in exchange for me providing free value, I do like to also ask for a quick testimonial just based on their experience of
Love
me
that
meeting with them and giving, I put everything on the table in terms of all the
for
value I can
sure.
give to them and trying to, kind of audit their business a little bit and try and give tips and tricks behind their, what they can do with their email list. Maybe I'll revise a piece of copy live on a call with them, or maybe I'll kind of just give them advice or tips and tricks behind how I can maybe see something to be better improved versus the way it currently may be right now, and the way the copy may be written through a landing page, an email, a Facebook ad they're willing to share. So yeah, I think just giving the value up front is really, really crucial and important, in exchange for me also being able to ask for a testimonial, a couple days or a week after. They're always happy to at least give me that testimonial due to the fact that I'm giving them a bunch of value up front. So I've been able to get a lot of
Yes.
those just from prospects who aren't ready to invest, but they're willing to at least, see enough value in what I give to them to be able to write a testimonial too.
And what you said right there is a massive piece to the group, bro. Massive piece. Because if you have somebody who isn't really ready right now to invest, what they can do is they can even make a post about it. Because I've seen a few of your Facebook group members doing this. Where like, man, just had a really good call with Rob. The call went really well. He gave me so much value. He's extremely knowledgeable. And what it does is for the new members that are now seeing that, what does it do? It elevates the authority. It elevates the authority now, right? And I,
Hmm.
I really want you to talk a little bit more about the concept of having people who aren't necessarily ready to invest right now, giving
Mm.
testimonials inside the group. Because even myself, I do the same thing too. I think it's extremely beneficial, but I want to hear your thought process with it.
Yeah, and like I said as well, I really do feel strongly about giving away everything that I know for free in terms of all my value, all of my knowledge, and all of my advice. Because, like you mentioned as well, even if they're not ready to invest in a copywriter right now today, situations can change, and maybe some of the value that I gave to them on the call will end up helping them get to a point where they have enough income coming in to then reinvest into something, more full time as well.
Yeah,
So I had a prospect that I was on a call with about a week or two ago, and I was able to give her a lot of free content in forms of, VSL scripts, Facebook ads, and email content. And she actually took that content and was able to replicate her own, call it a Facebook ad or a social media reel. And she actually shared that with me based on what she kind of followed suit with in terms of the templates that I shared with her as well. So it was kind of nice to be able to see someone actually putting out content based on the value that I gave them and having them test it out to their audience as well. And that particular prospect, she ended up getting a lot of engagement from the posts that she was making on her social
crazy,
media pages as well, whether that was
crazy.
likes, comments, and even DMs. So I think, the whole concept of giving away free value is really just imperative to be able to get you something back in return, whether it is a testimonial or whether it is a paying client sometime down the road. You never know what can come of it. Just have to always
100%.
give without expecting a whole lot in return as well.
1000%. 1000%. Like you said before, whether the person doesn't invest, they're still giving value and they'll give you something in return. Even if it's not
Mhm.
money per se, it's
Right.
a great testimonial and great credibility for you. Right. I love
Mhm.
that, brother. I
And I
love
think
that.
that really helps to
And
build the authority too, like you mentioned as well. If people can see that from other people, it really just helps to build my trust and credibility that I want to be able to have with people that I don't essentially know yet, right?
100%, brother. Because again, it's the online space. You know what I mean? And to me, the focus in the online space is building enough credibility for somebody to make a decision why they should work with you. That's the
Hmm.
key. If there's no
Right.
credibility, nobody's going to be, especially if you're selling your service at high ticket, selling it at 1,500, 2,000, 25, 3,000. If there's no credibility, nobody's going to invest into a high ticket copywriting services. So how do you build up that credibility? Great, you have your the people you've been having conversations with giving you great testimonials, or people that you've worked with in the past giving you testimonials and slapping it into your Facebook group. Whether that's a, a client interview, whether it's something like this that we're doing right now, whether it's like for example, a post that you make, slapping it inside the group so everybody, the community can see it. I love it. I love it. And Josh, for you too, brother, because I know you've been doing a lot of live trainings, and I even saw that testimonial as well. I want to hear your 2 cents with that too, bro.
I actually haven't done any live trainings. I've done some recorded, like pre-recorded stuff,
Yeah.
but I haven't done any live trainings, but I have been doing the pre-recorded stuff and I'm getting some feedback with that. But I don't really have anything to add that hasn't already been said.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, with the recordings, how has that, so it's, I know you're just giving tips in the recordings, is that right?
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
I've
And
kind of just been like
Mhm.
breaking down my process into short
Nice.
videos.
Love that. And that's been working for you, as in people are getting value from that at the end of the day.
Yeah, people are watching
Yeah.
it.
And that's the biggest thing at the end of the day. That's the biggest thing. People are watching it. And even if they're not liking or commenting, they're always watching the stuff. And that's why it's so important. Just keep showing up in the content and continue showing up with it. Right. And I know for all of us, right, like we're in the process now of booking calls with people. I kind of want to hear everybody's 2 cents with having a new member join the group, to then messaging them, to then getting them onto a call. Right. So Jill, let's start off with you, with booking calls. How's that been coming along?
Well,
And talk about the challenges and everything. Talk about
that
everything.
is my challenge. That is,
Yeah.
I'm following a script, and but it's tweaked based on who they are and what type of business they have. I think most of my problem is that I am not trying to be pushy, and maybe that is holding me back a little. So I'm gonna try to be a little pushier. I'm not sure, but anyways, I had a few calls, and right, like I told you, in my inbox now, there's like 6 people waiting on me. So
Crazy.
yeah, so I'm hoping to get at least one call from that.
Yeah. Now, I would change the framework of I think pushy, right? Because I think pushy can it could be a sticky word to some people. I think it's understanding that you have something valuable to
Yes,
give, and you're there to showcase it to that person. And that's why you're showing up with them inside the inbox, to showcase what you could do for their business and helping them out. Because that's ultimately what we're trying to do here. We have a skill set. We have a copy.
yeah,
Mhm.
mindset shift.
Yeah.
Uh, because at first, because I'm so new, and at first, my mindset was like, can you give me business? Can you give me business? And
Okay.
now it's slowly changing to, look what I can do for you.
Mm,
That's where I need to focus on what I can do for them, showing them that.
yes. Yes, 100%. And building an authentic relationship. That's the key to the inbox. Building an authentic relationship and realizing that, you're trying to see if, first off, you can actually help this person. And if you can, making sure as well that you're also being able to connect with them and show them what you could do for them as a copywriter. Because I think when we come from a mind, like that's really the mindset shift of being like, hey, I have a copywriting skill set. I know what I can do. I know my worth. I know what I can produce for you. And I know that if I help you out, I'll be there to really make sure you're getting results. And
Right.
I think in the inbox, if we come from that mindset and that mind frame, that's going to help us propel to make sure we're able to actually start booking more consistency in terms of the book calls. Because think about it, like I always say in the group coaching calls, right? Posting content inside of a group is simple, right? Because we're all copywriters. But
That's fun.
messaging people is it's a new language, right?
It
Because we're
is.
not used to that, right? We're not used to it. But I think it's understanding that naturally, the more reps that you put into it, like I've been messaging, like I bet you everybody who's watching this right now, I probably have messaged plenty of times. Right? But it's understanding that, naturally as you put more reps into the messaging, you get better with it with time.
Yes.
That's the thing. Whether you're using and whether you're utilizing the Facebook group for some people as well who are just starting this out, even if you're just cold outreaching to people, whatever the case may be, the more reps you put into the DMs, naturally you get better with time, right? But it's understanding that we want to focus on building an authentic relationship with them, understanding where they're at, and making sure you can actually help them. And if you can, that's where we just offer to book a free call. That's really the
Yes.
whole key. I love it. I love it. And for you too, Rob, because I know you've been booking calls consistently, bro. Because I definitely want to hear your 2 cents and your thought process with booking calls to the Facebook group.
Yeah, so the process that I kind of follow with my Facebook group in particular is when I have someone join my Facebook group, I'll kind of go back and review the questions they had answered to get in the first place. And the one that I that kind of review more than anything, or the one that I kind of focus on the most is, of course, their largest problem area with copywriting right now. And I like to use the answer to that question in the DMs, where I also want to be able to learn more about what their exact problem is, how long they've been dealing with it, and kind of what they've been trying to do to overcome it as well. So I like to at least really paint a picture of whatever pain it is they have, not because I want them to feel that pain even more, but because I want to be able to help understand how I can help to alleviate that pain. So I kind of like to sell like a doctor in a way, where I want to learn, where it hurts, how long it's been hurting for, what you've kind of done to try and fix it yourself. And then I think based off that, I like to at least give the remedy or the prescription or the therapy behind how I feel like I could help you to overcome that pain or that problem. So when I'm in the DMs, I really like to, hone in on the pain, but also try and better understand the situation and
Yeah.
helping them see the light at the end of the tunnel with the fact that I do possess something that can help them with their problem and getting their business to the next level. So I think just being able to educate, provide value, and then just letting them realize, or helping them realize rather, they have a distinctive problem that they can't solve on their own, right?
It's this concept of education. You hit around the nail. Giving value inside the inbox, understanding the current situation and handling that, giving them tips on how they can overcome that. Like what Rob just said right there, where like Rob, like what, and just so I can understand too, like what you're doing is you're understanding the current situation, giving value, understanding the current situation, giving value, but making sure there's a pain point in it as well within the process. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, when I'm engaging with them, I like to better understand what their pain is and what their problem is. And then based on that, I like to extrapolate and learn more about it and what they've kind of done to try and fix it on their own. For me to then try and help to give that remedy or that prescription, so-called prescription, or recommended way of therapy or resolution, right? As if I'm trying to sell like a
Hmm.
doctor, right?
Yeah. You're ultimately diagnosing their situation. Like you're being a diagnosis.
Mm,
That's essentially what
yes.
because we're all doctors at the end of the day. I don't say we're all doctors like that, but in the
Mm,
sales piece, we're all doctors, as in we're understanding their situation and giving them the solution that they need, the treatment that they need, to making sure they're
exactly.
moving along at the end of the day. Whether that's
Mhm.
we're booking calls in the inbox and even in the sales process as well. We're all doctors in the game. We're understanding the current situation. Awesome. I'm understanding the pain point. Let me give you some value. Let me help you out. And that to me is the whole foundation to the DMs. 'Cause even for myself as well, like right now I'm at a stage where I'm training James, my appointment setter, to learn this information as well. Right. And what I was telling him, I believe, was it 2 days ago? I was like, the first thing that we always have to understand before we start messaging is what is a person's current situation? Where are they currently at in their journey? Before we give any value, before we give any tips, where is the person's current situation? Awesome. We understand that. Now let's give some value to helping them out. Because what it does is it views the person who's giving value as an authoritative figure. Authoritative figure. because people naturally connect with people who are authoritative figures, right? And of course, people who authentically they build an authentic relationship with them for sure. But people trust more of authoritative figure, somebody who can actually give them real good information that's going to move their business forward. And that's why in the inbox, yeah, Rob, you're gonna say something, brother?
Oh,
No,
sorry. I was just going to raise it to speak when you were done speaking. You didn't have to stop. Sorry about that. I just so I
no,
didn't
you're good,
interrupt
man.
you to add my 2 cents. But I
Yeah,
was just going to say to kind of piggyback off that point as well. When I am on sales calls, I don't want to be very needy or kind of almost like I'm desperate to get the sale. I like to just give all the value out that I can, and if it takes them more than one call to make a decision, so be it. But I want to at least
yeah.
have them really feel and resonate with me in regards to the fact that I just want to give them value for free because I want to help them. And if it means scheduling more than just one call for them to be able to see that and get that comfort level up with me too, and the trust and credibility, then I'm open to doing that as well.
1000%. Like, there's so many people that try to close the deal in the first call. They're like, hey, if I don't close this deal, something bad's gonna happen right now. If I don't
Yeah.
close this deal, the whole world's gonna spin and all these crazy things. My philosophy is like, I'm the person who wants to get the job done. If that means I got to give you value, you're not ready. Also, let's book onto another call. Also, you're not ready. Cool. Let's book onto another gun. And the value is the one that's selling. The value is ultimately the one that's selling, right? And I think if we come from a place of given value, whether that's the content, whether that's through the sales, whether that's through the DMs, that helps with us being able to actually make money through the group the strategy that we're all using, giving value, right? I love that, bro. I love that. And Josh, for you too, brother, because I know you've been booking calls as well. I know you booked a call with a woman before. Break down like how you got this person to, and you have no idea who this person is. Like, this was like a random online business, holistic business owner that you've never met before
Just somebody from a group.
from a Facebook group, which is crazy.
Yeah.
How did you get somebody to go from the Facebook group, you funneled them inside your group, to then having a conversation for them to now chat with you? Like, I want to hear this.
It's kind of like how Jill said that she had to shift her mindset from can you give me business to how can I help your business? So I have to understand what their pain points are and then offer value. And that's basically it. Just how can I be of service to you, but also like kind of leading the conversation in a way that they come to the realization on their own that I can be of help to them without me having to be like, you need help. You
Yeah,
know, does that make sense?
100%. So it's like you're showing them, you're getting them to sell themselves as to why they need you. That's
Yes,
basically what it
yes,
is. That's essentially
yes.
what it is, right? Because like, even like you said before, like you put yourself, like, here's the thing, you put yourself in a sleazy situation if you have to try to close the person and pressure them and like, that's where the sleaziness and sales tactics and manipulation, that's where
Yeah,
that
it
comes
doesn't feel
from.
good.
It doesn't feel good. It doesn't. That's why you when you're booking calls with people, you give the value, because that's ultimately the selling. And at the
Mm.
sales call, it's like, hey, are you ready? You make a decision or not? Like, what do you want? What do you want to do here? You ready?
And what
No? Awesome. Yeah, you say?
Yeah, and what I love about it is like you can pick your own niche, and I'm obviously going to pick something that I'm passionate about. So I genuinely want to see their business
Yeah.
succeed. And so I feel good giving away that free value. So even if they don't work with me, they can still implement what I've given them, and it's going to ultimately help their business prosper. And then that later on, like you said, in the long run, that might come back to them later and be like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should go back and work with this person.
It's the law of reciprocity. The law of reciprocity. The more you give, like, that's why, like, like, really, my message, what I'm really trying to communicate with, even for you guys in the coaching program, because you guys very know I'm very big on giving value, but even to my Facebook group, it's this concept of giving value. Like, for example, I had a call with a young woman a couple of days ago, and literally, right, I was just giving a ton of value to her, a ton of value to her, right? She then goes, man, this value was extremely good. Do I have to pay you for this? I'm like, no, the call is absolutely free. But the thing is, right? The reason why she's ultimately said that is because why? Because she was getting enough value. She was building a connection, a relationship, but she was like, man, this information is extremely good, right? And to me, right, whoever knows, like maybe she in the next couple of months, if she wants to work with us, she might. Who knows? I don't know. But all I know is the value that I gave to her was the foundation for her to make a decision maybe in the future whenever she is ready. If she is looking to work with us, who knows? But my 2 cents with this though is that when you naturally give more to people, people ultimately want to give back to you.
Mhm,
Right?
for
That's
sure.
really what it is. That's ultimately what it is. Right. So it's this concept of giving. And with growing the group too, because I think to me, I think growing the group is probably the biggest thing. Like we could talk about booking calls, we could talk about content, but I think growing the group itself is probably it's probably the biggest piece to this puzzle right here. Right. How has growing the group been for you guys? So Josh, let's start off with you, brother. How has it been growing the group? Like going to holistic business owner groups, inviting them, like what things are you saying to them? How many messages are you saying? Like give everything away, brother.
I'm trying to send out at least 15 cold messages a day. Sometimes I
Nice.
do more, sometimes I do less, but I'm trying to be steady around 15. But
Yep.
what I do is I just kind of I ask them about what they're doing. If I kind of like stalk their Facebook a little bit to see what their business is. And then I'd be
Nice.
like, hey, I noticed that you do X, Y, and Z. I think that's awesome, yada yada yada. I created this group that I think you would fit into, and if you want to join it, here's the link. And then we kind of go from there. If they join, great. If they don't, I move on to the next person. But when they do join,
Big numbers game. Hmm.
most of them are answering those questions, and then that gives me kind of something to build off of, like, hey, I noticed that you're struggling with writing emails. How can I help you with that? And I get more information, and then I give them high value content, and it just keeps building off of that.
Love that. And with the questions that you ask, the membership questions,
Yeah.
how has that been helping you with really dissecting how the conversation is going to move? Like when you're messaging them, how has that been helping you out?
Oh, it's super, super helpful, because before it was like I didn't have any information to go off of other than what I see on their Facebook, where like those group questions are a little more personal because it's not like public knowledge, and it just helps you deepen that relationship that you're nurturing between you and a potential client.
Exactly. Because like even again, like the questions I don't even have for my group is the same exact thing for you guys, where it's like email, where you currently at, what's your biggest pain point? And you use the biggest pain point to be able to have a conversation with them and start it off. Because here's the thing about the DMs. The DMs can go either left, south, east, west if you're not intentional and you're really focusing on what is the intentions of this inbox. If you're not clear on the intentions, that's gonna make sure that's gonna the conversation you guys could be talking about your dogs, you guys be talking about things that happened last weekend, you could be talking about your cat, it could go everywhere. And that's why I think the questions, the membership questions, allows you to really start the conversation and get intentional with it. Where it's like, hey, I see your biggest pain point right now is getting conversions. What are you currently doing with this? Awesome. Great. You're doing this. Awesome. Let me give you some value. Awesome. What are your goals with your business? What are you trying to accomplish? Great. Love that. Let's jump onto a free call. Like it's the membership questions really, really make the conversation. It just steers the conversation the right way. All right. I love it, bro. I love it. And for you too, Rob, in terms of growing the group, because I know right now, like your group is right now is just business owners. Break it down with us, like the concept of how you're growing the group, business owner Facebook groups. What are you saying to invite them inside the group? Like what's the strategy?
Yeah, so for my particular group, as you mentioned, I'm kind of more generalized to anyone and everyone who's a business owner. So I will go into certain coaches or entrepreneur Facebook groups. and I'll basically scour the discussion or members section of those groups and try and find people that either have the title of coach, business owner, entrepreneur, CEO in their title. And then what I'll do is I'll send them a DM, basically letting them know that, hey, I created a new Facebook group here based on copywriting for business owners like yourself, where I'm posting free content, giving live trainings, giving away templates for how I kind of craft my own copywriting. And I kind of like to emphasize the fact that it's all free. And then I also, at the end, just simply like to ask them if they'd be open to joining and giving it a try. And then if they, kind of are aligned and reciprocate that invitation, I'll drop the link to the Facebook group to them as well. And
Yeah.
I take some like daily, I call it like daily little action. It's more of like the 30 DMs sent out each day. It may not seem like a lot, but I think that over time adds up if you're doing it 7 days a week and you're showing up every single day to do it. And that's kind of just been the way that I've been able to grow the Facebook group to the amount of members that I have right now, where I'm just making sure that I'm
Yeah.
taking the little actions each and every single day that kind of lead to the big picture of having a Facebook group of engaging business owners that are, willing to realize that I'm a authoritative figure in the space, willing to give value and content to them as well. And some of the things I like to tell other business owners as well, whether they have a Facebook group or they have an email list or just social media profile as well, I think it's very imperative and important just to keep producing content to your ideal target audience. Whether you are writing emails, making Facebook posts, making reels, a lot of the game itself is just showing up every day and giving out as much content as you can in high volume. And I think the law of averages will just end up working in your favor in the end. And the more you're putting out there in terms of volume in post and content, the higher the probability you have of actually getting a client to pay you based on what they're getting from you in terms of that free value.
It's all a big numbers game. That's really what it is. It's
Yeah.
all a big numbers game, right? And I want to hear and Jill, I'm gonna go to you too, but when Rob was talking, a thought came to my head about Facebook jail, right?
Yeah.
I know everybody here has been in Facebook jail before. Damn it, I'm
Yeah.
in Facebook jail right now. I'm in Facebook jail myself right now. But I want to hear though like everybody's like 2 cents with like adapting to it. Because again, like I think, Facebook jail, and for those of you that are not familiar with Facebook jail that are watching this right now, Facebook jail is essentially when you send out too many messages and then Facebook does like a slap on the wrist, like they temporarily block your account for 24 hours, right? Where you can't send a message. And I know I've been in Facebook jail plenty of times. I know Josh, you're in Facebook jail. Rob, Jill, have you been in Facebook jail yet? Not
No,
yet, not yet. Okay,
I feel
okay,
like I
okay.
Yeah.
haven't had enough messages.
But I want to hear though everybody's 2 cents though with adapting to it. Because I know
Mhm.
for me, when I was doing everything by myself, like building out my Facebook group, messaging people, growing the group, literally all by myself, I was going to Facebook jail fairly a lot because I was sending a lot of messages. And one thing that I used to do just to make sure I kept the business moving forward and I was still getting new members is using like Instagram and funneling people to my Facebook group, right?
Yeah.
So for example, what I used to do is I used to I go to Instagram, right? Because right now my Facebook group right now is just copywriters. I go on my Instagram and I reach out to people who are following copywriting influencers. I'm like, hey, come join my free Facebook group. And now I'm getting people to join my community rather than
Awesome.
me solely using, my Facebook account that's been blocked. So for you guys as well, and for everybody who's watching this right now, for people that are looking to scale that's watching this, if you're ever getting into Facebook jail, building up the group, adapt. Like the game is all about how can you adapt quickly? How
Yeah.
can you adapt quickly? And how you adapt is thinking outside the box. Also, I can't use my Facebook account. Awesome. Maybe I have to go on Instagram. Maybe I have to go on Twitter. Maybe I have to go on XYZ, TikTok, reaching out to people on TikTok to join. Because at the end of the day, everything's just getting funneled to the group. Like the focus is to funnel people inside the group. Because the group right now, it's like it's the party that we're building. We want to get new people inside the party. new people to now see who we are ultimately, right? So yeah, so I want to hear more about your ability to kind of adapt when being in Facebook jail. So I want you to kind of put your 2 cents to it, Rob.
Yeah, so for myself personally, I've been in Facebook jail probably too many times to count. I probably have a blue Facebook jail suit by now in terms of how many times I've kind of been in and out of the Facebook jail. Because for me, sometimes I like to, if I get in like a DM groove where I'm kind of sending a lot of messages and I do feel like I do track how many I send each day intently. And when I do hit the cap of 30, I like to just stop right then and there. But I've had some days where I want to add on like a 31, or the next day I want to go hit 32 and just try and, do a little bit better than I did the day before. But like you said too, that does lead to Facebook jail. So I actually do have a business Instagram and a business Twitter that I use strictly for funneling traffic to my Facebook group as well. And I've actually gotten some members from Twitter to kind of accept my link and
Nice,
join my Facebook group. And
nice.
actually through Instagram as well, I've actually been in Instagram jail too, just from me sending like the same
Really? There's an
messages.
Instagram jail?
Yeah, I think it actually could have been predicated on me doing too many like followings at once, where it's like it
Gotcha.
stopped me from being able to send messages as a result of me probably being flagged as a bot or spam from me adding all these different health and wellness or business coaches and then
Yeah.
trying to get them to follow back so I can end up in their inbox. So I did have a little bit of a rough time with Instagram, but then I'll just go back and kind of pivot to the other medium, like Twitter, for example. So I try to limit my excuses with not getting my DMs done for the day, whether it is through my predominant platform of Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. I try and find ways to at least reach that 30 request mark for the day. And if
Hmm.
Instagram does give me trouble with the fact that I may be following too many people, I'll trying to rear back on doing that and just strictly sticking to the DMs, which I don't believe they have too much of an issue with versus where Facebook, if you're hitting a certain DM cap, you're just not able to message anybody again. So I
Yeah.
just try to be, more creative. As entrepreneurs, I think we really do have to be adaptable and really creative in trying to find ways to keep pushing the needle forward as well.
Yeah. And that's the whole key about entrepreneurship. I think when certain things happen, like for example, an obstacle happens or somebody goes to the Facebook jail, like the first thought is like, oh my gosh, I just have to stop for the day, business is done, and all these things. My mindset is, okay, cool. I'm in Facebook jail now. What's the next thing? What's the next thing that I have to do to kind of overcome this little mini hump? Oh, do I have to go on Instagram now to keep the business going? Do I have to go on Twitter now? What do I have to do? It's a matter of just adapting in the situation, right? Love it, bro. Love it. And Jill, I know right now you said you haven't been in Facebook jail, right?
Well, I think they cut me off for an hour for doing something. I think it was
Mhm.
adding too many friends.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. I remember
Oh,
that. That was where
my
you.
dogs are crazy tonight.
No worries. Take your time. You're good. You're good. You are good.
But I really like that what Rob said about going on to different platforms and funneling your the traffic through to your group.
Yeah.
That's something I haven't done.
Yeah, yeah. And with growing the group too for you as well, because I wanted to ask you before I start talking about Facebook jail, how has that been coming for you? Like I know you're more so like working with anybody right now too. How has the concept been of growing the group been? How's that been?
I'm wondering, like as time goes by, I listen to Josh and now I think Rob just said he primarily works with coaches. Um,
Hmm.
I'm wondering if I should be niching down because it's sort of I feel like a scatterbrain sometimes. I'm looking for just anyone,
Hmm.
and I'm wondering if I should just pick a niche and stick to that concentrated, type of business owner.
Yeah. And here's the thing about niches, because it's so funny because I actually redid the module for the program about this earlier about picking a niche. And the thing about picking niche, it could be funny. It could be a funny thing, especially with copywriting. Now, my belief is that picking a niche, it's is definitely nothing wrong with picking a niche. But at the same time, though, if you're just starting out, there's also nothing wrong with just landing any opportunity you possibly get.
Yeah. That's what
You know
I've
what I
been doing.
mean?
Hmm.
Yeah. So I think right now with what you have going on, continue just growing the group and getting people through. Let's just make the Facebook group work first, as in you're booking more consistent calls. You're now enrolling people. Then if you want to start niching down the group, you definitely can. Because again, we,
Yeah,
we just built this group out. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, it wasn't very
Yeah.
long ago. So
Yeah, it was like I think like 2 weeks ago we started,
yeah,
two, three.
yeah. So I just I just had a pop-up saying, "Hi, I just joined your group."
Yeah. How many members are you at right now?
Well, 67 now, I guess, because I just got one.
67. Holy
So that's
smokes.
not too bad. But I, of course, every day
Yeah.
I'm hoping for more.
Yeah.
But I
Six.
do know
Wow.
from the guys who are ahead of me there, Rob, especially like that tip of going on different platforms and funneling through to your group, that was golden.
Yeah. It's a matter of just adapting. It's a matter of just adapting. When you go into Facebook jail, awesome. What's the next platform that can use could just funnel people to the group? Because that's the focus is to grow the group. Like that's really just the main piece to the puzzle right now. That's the main seed that we're ultimately planting daily. The group is the seed that we're planting. And if we have to use other accounts or other social media mediums to get people to the community, whether that's Instagram, whether that's Twitter, whether that's TikTok, whatever the case may, at the end of the day, we're still funneling people to the group. That's the biggest thing. You know what I mean? So if you can adapt, and what even Rob was saying as well, using Twitter and using other platforms, that's how you ultimately make sure the group is continuously growing and you're going to make it work, right? Like again, I've been in Facebook jail more times than I can freaking count. More times than I can freaking count, right? Again, I've been growing this group for the past 2 years now. And I think when I went on first time I went to Facebook jail, the first thing that I did, I was like, okay, cool. This happened. I've never experienced this before. I continuously keep trying to send messages after sending messages after sending messages. Nothing was sending. I was like, cool. I got to do something else. I got to do something else. So yeah, growing the group is the key though. Growing the group is the key. And for you too, Josh, because I know you've been in Facebook jail as well. I want to hear more about your experience with that, brother. Share with us the difficult challenges that kind of happened, and if you were kind of being adaptable during that situation. Because I believe you said that you were right, like you use
I
different
was,
things.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I sent out like 30 something messages one morning, and then it just stopped letting me send out new messages. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'm in Facebook jail. And that was my first time. That was my first and only time experiencing that. But I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna shift my focus to do something else productive. I'm gonna record some content. I'm gonna write up some stuff for my group and shift my focus towards that. I did not think to go to Instagram and funnel traffic to Facebook. I think that is an excellent, excellent idea that I did not think of, but I'm going to start implementing that in the future.
Think about it, bro. Like there's probably hundreds of thousands holistic business owners on Instagram.
Oh,
They
oh
can
yeah.
easily just ask to join your group, and now you're getting more traffic, a bigger audience, more leads that now knows who you are,
Honestly,
right?
I always forget that I have Instagram. It's kind of like an afterthought for me,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm getting better at being more consistent on that platform as well.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, that's the biggest thing as well. And one thing that I also wanted to talk about. So we went through traffic because I'm just going over the five flows. We went over traffic as in growing the audience, whether that's using Facebook groups, inviting people to the group, whether that's using other mediums when we go into Facebook jail. We went over that. We went over content as well, messaging, sales, and client fulfillment now. So the last piece that I kind of wanted to talk to you guys, you guys have a couple of minutes, right? I know it's 8 o'clock, but do you guys have a couple of
Yeah.
minutes? Awesome. So, and I want to start talking about client fulfillment now. I know a few of us, or all of you, actually have worked with people before in the past, right? Like I
Mhm.
know Josh, you had like a crazy, crazy, crazy thing that happened with a client. I want you to talk about that. And I want you to even bring up too, because you have a client interview with this client inside your Facebook group, correct? Correct, right?
I don't know what client we're talking about.
Where it's the client that you talked about on Monday's coaching call that had 79 sales in one email, something crazy,
Okay, yes, yeah.
crazy numbers. But you have a client interview with that individual inside your Facebook group shortly. Is that correct?
It's not posted yet. We're gonna record it next week.
You're gonna record next, but it's still going inside the Facebook group.
Yes.
Talk a little bit more about the power of getting clients results and giving them a great experience as well. And then utilizing that as a way for you to market yourself and posting it even in such a group with what we're going to do next week.
I think
Talk a
it's
little bit more
very
about that.
important. I think it's very important because I don't know about you guys, but when I'm looking at buying a new product or a service or investing in a service, I always want to see what other people are saying about that before I invest my money into it. So by being able to have these testimonials to present into our group, that just raises your value. It raises your authority level in the eyes of these newcomers. It shows that you really know what you're doing and you're getting the results and that you're worth every penny.
1000%. And that's why, to me, like doing the client interviews inside of your group is so, so key. Because, like, if I just think about everybody that I've scheduled a call with, the people that's watching this right now, just you guys, what did I do? I was like, hey, watch these client interviews, watch the people that I've worked with. You then jumped onto a call with me. You're like, wow, great information, great stuff, all these things. And after that, we just made an educated decision. It wasn't like a sleazy, salesy, hey, come join. Like it was, hey, I know what I want. Let's just move forward with this. And that's why, to me, doing client interviews are so key to the group. So, so, so key to the group. So, for example, with Josh, like, bro, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about just the title right now. How my client made 79 sales from one email. It's
Yeah.
crazy. We promote that inside the group. You get a ton of people watching that. You got to tell people engage, being like, oh my gosh, great information. And now you have an asset for your business. And now, whenever somebody books a call with you, what are we going to do now? Watch this
We're gonna be like, hey,
15,
watch this video.
watch this video before jumping onto a call with me. It's getting educated buyers, educated buyers. And honestly, I'm telling you, I know I tell you guys this all the time, man. Like I wish I did this when I was a copywriter. As in, I had client interviews because what I used to do, I used to just send just testimonials and all that. But I realized after working with my business coach right now, there's a power in having actual real live videos of people saying how good your stuff is. Because you can say you're a great copywriter, but there's more, there's a bigger power in it when somebody else is saying how good you are. The bigger
Mhm.
power. You know what I mean? So I think with this client interview, I think this is going to be really good for you. And even too, because I know right now everything's going to the group, because and I also know as well, like you're still talking to people like locally as well, like people
I
inside your
am.
network.
Yes, I am.
Get them to watch this stuff too.
I just invited a couple of them to my group.
Good.
What the heck? They're local. Why not?
Good. Good. Get them to see this. Get them to see this because man, I'm excited for that live training for you next week, bro. I'm really excited for that.
Super
What day
excited.
is this? What day is it happening?
We haven't scheduled it yet, but I'm thinking it's gonna be Thursday because I normally meet with her on Thursdays
Very cool.
anyways for other things.
Very cool, bro. After that, you're just posting inside the group, and after that, like it's just getting people to just continuously just watch it over and over and over again.
Yes.
Yeah, because at
I'm
the end of the
very
day,
excited.
yeah, man, I'm excited for you too. And like I said before, it's getting people educated to and ultimately invest into your services. That's really what it is. Getting educated buyers. Just getting educated buyers, bro. I love it, man. And for you too, Rob, break it down with us too of this concept of getting clients results and posting it inside your group. Whether that's just testimonials, of people, just you sending samples out to people or just some calls. Just I think there's an element to doing getting clients really good results and then and marketing inside your group.
Yeah, to that point too, and what Josh kind of touched on as well, I think that when you're able to really establish the trust and credibility through what other people are saying about you, it really just helps to really strengthen your brand and your ability to reach other people that can actually be more inclined to want to work with you based on trust alone. Like for me, for example, I don't like when I go on Amazon to buy something, I don't look at anything that's under 5 stars or, less than 500 reviews. So I want to be able to have people treat, my business the same way as well, where they want to be able
Yeah.
to feel confident in knowing that what they're getting has already been tried and trusted by other people. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
mean, how can I expect someone else to do that for me if I don't do that with other businesses that I interact with on a daily basis?
Hmm. It's documenting your results, right? It's documenting it, whether it's through testimonials, whether it's a video form, testimonials as in somebody's actually posting it, but it's documenting
Mhm.
the results and showcasing that to people. I love it. I love it. And for you too, Jill, because I know you've got some testimonials as well. Have you been posting all the any of your testimonials inside your group?
Actually, I thought about that today because I did post them all inside my profile. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Mhm.
did. And so I got the idea, and especially about the one I did for pot bookkeeping. I really enjoyed that. It was my very first one, and the testimonial is great. And so I went inside my profile, I believe it was, asking who in my profile were finance business owners. So I tried to get to see if there's any finance business owners to present them with what I did for pop bookkeeping. So I don't know if there's any in my group, but I'm going to find out for sure so that I can show them what I've done for him.
Post it,
Yes,
please.
okay, I will.
Please post it because if you post all of them, like here's the thing too about the group is that there's a featured section. As in when somebody joins the group, there's videos that you have the ability to put, like you have specific videos you put into your featured section. And when new members join the group, if they check all the way at the top, there's videos that they can just scroll through. And for me right now, all I have is just strictly client interviews that I've done with you guys, right? So in case somebody joins my group, they're like, oh, I kind of want to see who this guy's worked with in the past. It's just a list of videos that people can actually just start watching. And what is it doing? It's getting people like, wow, some good information, XYZ, X. And the same thing that you guys do the same thing too. So for example, Jill, you post the testimonials inside the group, put that into your featured section and have people, as people are now joining the group, just get them to scroll through that stuff because you just never know what people are looking at when they join your group. You never really know whether that's a piece of content that you did 2 months ago, whether it's a post that you did yesterday, whether that's them looking through your testimonies through the featured section, you never know. So I would definitely utilize that because it's a great way, a great asset to the group. It's a
I
great
will
asset to the group
do that.
for
Yeah.
sure. Love it. And one more question before we kind of end off. I know it's kind of getting kind of late. Um, Now I know everybody's kind of hearing this, like, yeah, I kind of have to build a Facebook group, and it sounds like, it's so simple to build a group. Oh my gosh, what I gotta do? I just gotta grow the group, I gotta message people, book calls, and magic happens. Right. So I kind of want to hear each and every single one of you guys and ladies as well, 2 cents on building the group and really just talking about how it sounds simple to do but it's not easy. Like even for myself, like I'm still learning the game of building a group. There's so much more elements, so much more deeper elements behind it. Right? So Josh, I want to hear your 2 cents with that.
Well, my 2 cents on it is that it is work, but it's laying a foundation.
Mm.
So it's laying a foundation for a stronger future of my copywriting business. And it kind of does the marketing for you in a way because all these people are joining your group. They're saying, "Hey, I'm interested in what you're offering." And then they're just there and you start building a relationship with them as soon as they join your group. And I think it's great. It's definitely a little bit of a learning curve for me to learn the different features inside of the group, like how you had showed me how I can go back and see my messages, or not my messages, my members, and then see how they answered the questions and then open up the messages and it's like all right there in front of me. So it is a little bit of work, but I don't think it's hard. It's just time consuming, but I like it. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and
Yeah.
I'm excited for the future of it.
Yeah. The time consuming piece is understanding though, like you're committed to this. I
Yeah.
think for a lot of people, people can say like, yeah, it's extremely time consuming. I don't want to do this because you're not committed to it. You're not committed to the game.
And also, it's just like it's time consuming right now.
Mm,
It's not always going to
yeah.
be this time consuming. It's just because I'm just getting started. It's just time consuming right now.
Yeah. Because after, once we actually start getting clients to the group, what's the next step? The wait list. And
Hmm.
what's the next step right after? Just keep growing the group, keep growing the group, keep growing the group. After that, we just put people on the wait list.
And like
That's really what it is.
I'll eventually have a bunch of video content like how you do, where you're like,
Yeah.
here, watch this video. I don't have those videos yet, so it's extra for me to have to make the video. But once you make it, you have it.
And it's just rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
Like all the videos that I send over to people, whether that's in the inbox or even before as well, like even to you guys, like before you guys joined the program, all the videos that I made before, like my 6-step video, I made this back in November. And I made it one time, and then after that, it's just rinse, repeat. My 8-step video I made in January, a group and everything. Like I just made it one time, and it's just rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. And that's why having the resources, having content, and just sending that over to people is extremely valuable. Because after that, we just get people to just understand who you are, understand the information. Awesome. They get trust and the next step right after. But yeah, the focus though, and I like how you said right now it's time consuming because right after it's just putting people on the wait list. And then awesome. If in case if we ever lose a client, awesome. We can reach out to people that are on the wait list. And now it's just we have a system coming on. Right.
Yeah.
I love it, bro. I love it. And Rob, for you too, brother, share with us about the concept of building the group, even though it sounds simple to do, right? Just growing the
Hmm.
group, posting content, messaging people, booking calls, jumping on
Yeah.
sales calls, closing deals. It sounds super, super simple, and I wish it was easy to do. But I want to hear your
Mhm.
2 cents with it, bro.
Yeah, it's definitely not as simple as it sounds. I mean, I have probably about 227 people in my group right now, but I'm sure I've sent, 2 or 3 times the amount of DMs versus the people that have actually joined. So
Yeah.
it's really just a numbers game. It's going to be a big grueling, grind, as Josh alluded to as well. But like you mentioned as well, it's setting the foundation to be able to have, the fruits of the labor come to fruition down the road where we actually will have an authority and a brand built in the Facebook group, then have a waiting list established from that as well. But yeah, from the way that the group is kind of set up and the way that you go about adding members in right now, it's definitely not as simple as just sending out 30 DMs for the day and getting 30 people in your group that same day as well. It's not going to be as black and white as that, where that simple, but it is just going to be a consistent, thing you have to show up to do every single day with the end goal in mind of having your group at a point where people may even reach out to you asking to work with you without you even needing to go to them first, just from them engaging with your content and your free value. But yeah, it is just a matter of just showing up every day and just trying to take the daily efforts to be able to keep growing the group and to control what you can control, which is of course just trying to drive more people into your group via traffic, engaging them with content, messaging them, working on it, getting a sale established with them, and then of course just trying to have the last step be the client success. So a lot of it is just daily action and just showing up every day, even if you may not have things visibly going your way each and every single day. You have to keep trusting that process and keep moving the needle forward with what you can control.
I love that, bro. It's playing the long game with the Facebook group. Like I can't wait until like what we're at like 2 point almost at 2.2 members inside the group. I can't wait till I'm at 30,000 members inside the group. Like that's what I'm thinking about. I can't wait till we're at that number. And it's just knowing that as you just continue just growing the group and growing the group and talking to more people, because it's all a big numbers game at the end of the day. You get people into the group, you talk to some people are like, yeah, I don't want to invest because, financially, okay, cool, on to the next person. Yeah, I don't want to invest, cool, on to the next person. But if you dig through the dirt long enough, you'll always find the gold. As in, you're always going to find that person be like, hey, I'm ready to invest in you. I've been seeing your content. I've been getting value from you in the inbox. I'm loving how we built a great connection with you. I'm ready to now start investing. Right. So that's really what it is. It's all a big numbers game. Like with scaling, it's a big numbers game. You talk to enough people, great. Some people are gonna say no. That's just the reality of it, but you just gotta accept it and understand that maybe it's not actually you as the individual that they're rejecting. Maybe it's the fact that they just aren't ready right now. They're just probably not financially ready right now. Right. And I think for me, I've probably been rejected more times than people have said yes, honestly, in my life, right? Especially in entrepreneurship. But it's understanding that, the rejection piece is part of the game. Like you gotta get rejected in entrepreneurship. This is the game that we're all playing here. We're all wanted to build a business, and building a business comes with rejection. More rejection than people saying, yes, I want to work with you. And you just gotta accept it. All right.
Yeah, like
So
you said, just because someone rejects you, that doesn't mean it's forever. They're likely to come
yeah.
back. They realize that you had something to offer, and they probably weren't in a financial situation to take advantage of that, or they just grew in their business and now they need you.
Exactly. Exactly. It's just a long game. Like we're
Yeah.
playing the long game here. Like it's too many people can get too caught up in the short term, as in somebody rejects them like, cool, this thing isn't for me. I'm done. I'm just gonna slip away and start doing something else. It's because they're thinking too short term. But my philosophy is I think about what if I continue moving forward? What if I continue pressing forward? What if, the next person I talk to is a yes?
Mm.
Like that's my everyone ever I get a no, it's like cool, I'm getting one closer to a yes.
Yeah.
I might have to go through 10 no's in order for me to get to the 11th yes. And that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But it's just the mindset shift. It's the mindset shift.
Persistence is the key to success.
And
Yeah,
I
hit it
keep
right on the
thinking
nail.
about the amount of people on Facebook and the amount of people on the internet. And
Yeah.
I keep going, where are you guys?
Yeah. That's the key right there. It's like where are the people that I'm looking for? I have
Right.
to find those
They're
people.
there. They are
They're
there. There's
there.
3 million or 3 billion on Facebook, and I'm going to find them.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah, I
don't
love
need a
it.
lot to be successful either. You only need
No,
like a
right,
handful of people.
right.
And that's the beauty of a copywriting business as well. Like you don't need 10, 15, 20. Like for me right now, like growing a coaching business, I need to get clients consistently in order for me to make money. But as a copywriter, you just need 2 to 3 clients on retainer, and that's a good income you're making. Whether you're selling
Yeah.
it, and of course it depends on how you sell your prices. But if you're selling it at, let's say $2,500, you land 3 clients. What? That's $7,500 for the month you're making. Good revenue or good monthly income you're making. So it's understanding that, and I think too, one point that I also want to bring up is of high ticket. The beauty of the group as well that I personally have found is that naturally, like with the profile, and again, I teach the profile, but I think it's a little bit more difficult talking to enough people to sell at high ticket. That's what I've realized, right? That's why I realized with the profile approach, that's more so just landing your first set of clients and just getting your name out there. But if you're looking to then scale and really reach high ticket, you got to talk to enough people. And that's why, to me, the Facebook group is a great way to do that. Because as you just continue just growing the group, you're booking calls consistently. Now you're talking to enough people to start selling it at high ticket. Whether you're selling at $1,000, whether you're selling at $2,000, selling at $3,000, you're talking to enough people. And to me, it's sales is all a big numbers game. Of course, is there different things you can do to always improve your sales game? For sure. For sure. There's nothing wrong with that. You can always improve at sales, but it's understanding that things are always a big numbers game. It's all a big numbers game. Right. And for you too, Jill, because I also want to ask you as well, Miss, with building the group, because like I always said to Josh and even Rob, people are probably watching this right now thinking, man, growing this group is super simple. What I gotta do? I just gotta message people, get people inside my group, post some content, share
Well,
with us the secrets, Miss
the
Jill.
process is simple. The whole process of doing how to do it is simple, but implementing it takes so much time. Um, it's time consuming because every DM is going to take a certain amount of time. Every person you interact with takes so much time. You have to join lots of groups. You have to dissect the groups, see who's there, talk to people. Talking to people takes forever. If you're trying to build a relationship, you're not trying to rush people out of the DM.
Yeah.
So I find if you're really engaging and you're really committed, it's not a 9 to 5. My boyfriend tells me, Jill, this is your 9 to 5. This is your business time. Don't worry. But yeah, it's a huge commitment. It's not difficult, but it's a commitment.
Yeah, yeah. It's just committing to the journey. Knowing that there's gonna be ups, downs, there's gonna be bruises along the journey, but it's knowing that if you make a decision to stick with it, sooner or later everything will work out.
Right.
That's the key to it all. How did you guys enjoy tonight's training? Did you guys like it?
Loved it.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Thought it was
Come down.
great. Thanks for
Yeah.
having us.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
Did you guys feel nervous?
Yep.
Always. It is
Did you-
easier having
Yeah.
someone to talk to instead of talking to yourself on the screen, but
Yeah.
still.
Yeah, but yeah, no, we got some good engagement. We got a lot of people commenting down below. Should this be so one person says, what is the value proposition for, as an example, dental marketing prospect, and do you need to create a multiple groups by niche? So to answer your question, Cliff, do you guys want to answer Cliff's question? One of you guys?
I
You want me to
your
repeat it again?
answer. I want to hear
Okay,
your
You're talking
so
about the USP.
Yeah.
yeah. So I'll do his question again. So he goes, what is the value proposition for, as an example, a dental marketing prospect, and do you need to create multiple groups by niche? So first thing, we want to create one group, okay? And to answer your question as well, Cliff, we want to, if your niche are dental business owners, right? People in the dental industry, we're essentially building a group and inviting those people inside the community. And the content that you're also going to be producing inside the group, it's educating people on your knowledge on copywriting, right? Because that's what you're selling, right? For example, what am I doing inside my Facebook group? I have my niche is copywriters, whether it's beginner copywriters, people that look, my niche is copywriters, right? I'm a copywriting coach. What did I do to build a group? I built a copywriting group. What am I doing every single day? Because right now I'm doing everything organic. Like I turned off ads, right? So everything is strictly organic right now. What am I doing? I'm inviting other copywriters to my group. Like I'm not inviting people that are in the dog niche. I'm not inviting people into I'm not inviting regular business owners because that's not my target niche. My target niche are copywriters. I'm inviting them inside the group. And what am I doing every single day? I'm giving inside the group. I'm posting valuable tips on how to start getting clients. Like, what am I doing right now? I'm giving value. I'm giving tips on building a group, what my personal clients are actually doing right now, what I'm doing for my own business. I'm giving value inside my community, right? I'm giving tips. I'm giving, two-step posts. I'm doing valuable posts. I'm doing live trainings every single week. I'm giving to the group. And what is it doing? I hope somebody is watching this, building trust, like, wow, I really like this podcast inside this group, right? And I hope somebody builds enough trust, watches enough content, and although a lot of people might not be ready to work with me, it's okay. I hope there's one person like, yes, I'm getting enough value inside this group. I want to work with this individual. They're just raising their hand right now, being like, yes, I want to work with this individual. All right. And that's ultimately the concept of the group. So for example, what Josh, Jill, and Rob are doing, they're building their group, they're inviting their niche people inside their niche inside the community, giving value to them, whether that's content, whether that's live training, whether that's yeah, whether that's posts, whatever the case may be, videos. They're giving value to the group, and the goal is knowing that there might not be there most people might not be ready to invest in their services right now. The focus is they're going to get one person raising their hand being like, holy shit, I like the value, I like what this person is talking about. I want to see how this person can help me with their copy. That's the goal. That's the goal. So I hope that answered your question, brother. Um, Cliff then goes, should this be done from your personal profile or business page? So this is a Facebook group, right? And your business page is more so when you're running ads. Like your personal profile, like that's more like I focus on a profile more so for beginner copywriters, but for people who existing copywriters that have worked with clients and just looking to scale, I focus on building a Facebook group. All right. So I hope that answered your question. I don't know if it did, but I hope it did.
You
I
can
think
start a
But
Facebook group. You can
Yeah.
start a Facebook group from your personal profile.
yeah.
Well, like, okay, so when I started, I didn't want my business associated with my personal profile. So what I did was I created a business profile. So now my group is
Mm,
off of my business profile. I think that might be what he was asking, because that's what I
Okay.
was stuck on. And I remember that. And so my
gotcha.
group is a spin-off, or it's off of my business profile.
Got
Mine
you.
is
Okay,
off of
that
my
makes sense.
personal profile.
So
Yeah.
yours is on your personal, Josh.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I made a decision at the beginning of my journey not to stick with just my personal profile. That's separate from me.
Okay.
And so
The
I
thing
now,
that's good about the group is like it's still separate from your personal profile. Like only people in your
Private.
group can see what you're
yeah,
posting.
They
it
see
is.
your posting exactly.
Yeah.
There's so many
Well,
groups out there. Yeah, we don't teach that. Like we want to keep it private, right? So like the thing about public groups, if you guys have seen, probably just like if it's not monitored really good, people can start posting God knows what inside those
it's
groups.
a
That's right.
runaway train.
It's the Wild West.
It gets crazy inside those public groups. So that's why I want to keep it private, right? So people you can post like stuff inside the group and only your members can see, which is again a beauty of the group as well. So if you want to keep things private, build a group. Build a group. But awesome. So if you guys have any other questions, I don't see any other questions. I see great information. Only jumped on 10 minutes ago and already this is gold. Love that. Um, but again, do you guys have anything else you guys want to say before we end tonight?
Not me. I
No,
just,
I feel complete.
You feel
yes,
good?
I
Very
think
cool.
this was great. Great session.
Yeah, I love it. Rob, anything from you, brother?
I would just say to kind of touch on the whole aspect of maybe not seeing the results of your efforts taking place every day. I mean, for example, like Michael Jordan, if we take him for example, he was cut from his varsity basketball team, whether it was his junior or senior year. And just imagine if he would have let that small failure get to him and he would have quit basketball, we would never have the Air Jordan shoe brands. We'd never have, him to
Yeah,
look up to in terms of a super athlete. So I mean, it's about putting your like the small failures behind you, but having the big picture still and still having your goal in mind and not letting hiccups or obstacles get in the way, or even just having the small failures or even, lack of results get in your way as well is the biggest thing.
man, I love that point. I love that point. Yeah, MJ's definitely it's a big inspiration for me as well. Great. Have you read his I know it's kind of off topic, but have you read his book? forgot exactly what the book is called.
No, I have
His
not.
biography.
No, I have not. That'd be a
Haven't?
good
Oh,
pickup
okay.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Definitely suggest. I forgot exactly what it's called. But I definitely suggest reading his biography. It's a great one. Awesome,
Hmm.
awesome. Anything else that you guys want to say before we end? That's it.
Just thank you.
Awesome.
That's it.
Again, of
Thank
course. I
you
Thank
for
appreciate
you.
all three of you. I appreciate you guys jumping on with me. And again, I appreciate you guys jumping on into my group. Maybe I have to, if you guys want me to join your guys' group, do a podcast with you guys, let
Yes,
me know.
great idea.
I'm always willing. I'm always here to give. I'm always here to give. But I appreciate you guys jumping on, giving value inside the community. Again, appreciate and love you guys as always. And again, tomorrow, I know we have our coaching call, so I'll definitely message you guys before the coaching call to check in. But again, appreciate you guys. Love you guys as always.
Love you too. Thank you, Nick.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Appreciate it.
Love
Of
you
Thank you
guys.
course.
guys. Take
Bye.
See you
care.
guys
Love you
later.
guys. Take care.
Peace. Bye.
All
Yeah.
right. Bye-bye.